A histogram is a graph that consists of bars of equal width drawn adjacent to each other without gaps. That is the biggest thing that makes it a histogram. It cannot have gaps in between each bar unless the class itself has a zero frequency. The horizontal scale represents the classes of quantitative data values, and the vertical scale represents the frequencies. The height of the bars corresponds to the frequency values. So here we're going to take our table here, and I'm going to explain how we get the histogram over here. So first thing is we need to write out the horizontal scale, the horizontal axis. And this is done from our classes on the left-hand side. So 60 to 69, 70 to 79, and so on. But we're only going to use the lower class limits. So 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. And we actually need to write it in 130 because if we don't, we wouldn't be able to show the final class. Now our vertical axis here has to be the frequency. So the amount that's in each class. So this one we did it in groups of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 to 16. But you can kind of label it whichever way you want, whatever you think is easiest. Now we're going to start off with the first one, 60 to 69, the first bar of the histogram with a frequency of 12. So that means here we're going to go up to 12 on the vertical axis. And you don't have to write 12 here. It should be easy enough to see that it stops at 12. And that's all you do for the first one. For the next one, for the second class, we have 14. So again, the bar must be up right next to and touching the first one. And it goes all the way up on the vertical axis to 14. Again, you don't need to write 14. It should be easy enough to see it, but if you write it, it's technically not wrong. And then we have the third class, 80 to 89 with 11. So the third bar here, again, touching the previous bar, and it goes up to 11. So in this case, it's between 10 and 12, so easy enough to see that it's 11, but again, it's labeled for us. Then we have the fourth one, 90 to 99, and it's only 1. So we're just going to go up 1 notch between 0 and 2. And then we do the same thing for 100 and 109, which is 1 again. So it's just going to be, again, right across. All the bars, again, touching each other. And then we come to the second to last one, 110 to 119, which is a 0. So there is a gap here. But that's only because there's nothing here, and that's the only case where there should be a gap in a histogram. Otherwise, it needs to have all the bars touching each other. And then we have the last one, 120 to 129, which is 1. So again, up 1 between 0 and 2. So again, they labeled them like this. You do not need to. It should be clear by the vertical axis of what each one is, but if you do label it, it's not wrong. But this is what a histogram looks like, and again, it has to have no gaps in between each bar unless there is a 0 for one of the frequencies.